That's okay, when you're ready.
Hello, so we are at the planning committee on Tuesday, the 7th of October, and we are starting with apologies for absence.
Okay, yes, we have two. We have Councillor Sam Spivey and Councillor John Drake, who are both away on holiday.
We're happy with that?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. Declarations of interest. Has anyone spotted any?
No. Right,
No.
okay, if anything does come to light, then please let me know.
And is anyone happy with the minutes from the previous meeting? Yeah, I know it was a bit, one of them was a bit tricky that way, wasn't it?
Yes, it was I'm trying to remember which one it was now.
The bins,
Yeah, big information one. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that one
It would be
ends,
interesting.
actually. Yeah.
Then we've got 2023 there. Wishing I was younger. So that's fine. Any chairman's report on urgent items, Heather?
No, we have neither of those, Chair.
Any questions
No, none been received.
and objection letters?
No, we haven't received any directly to us, although I have got some that were online.
Fine. So this week we are looking at applications registered week ending the 12th, the 19th and the 26th of September 2025. And we start on page 8. 5/2025/1582 does not match the criteria, so we will start with 5/2025/1509, which is 14 Wheatfield Road.
Lovely, okay. Property sits on a wide plot with a detached double garage to the front. Properties to either side take a much deeper footprint than the application property, with the rear building lines falling either in line in the case of number 16 or further back in the case of number 12 Wheatfield Road from the application property. The proposal is looking at the front to add a small single-storey extension to extend the lounge, and another two-storey extension to reconfigure the entrance area and stairwell at first floor. To the rear, the single-storey extension, which stretches part of the way across the rear of the property, will create a study and expand the dining and family rooms. At first floor, the extension will extend an existing bedroom. A rear dormer and 2 Velux windows are also proposed to provide accommodation in the roof space, 5 bedrooms in total across the property. The windows across the property are also changing and enlarging, which will change the style and character, but not to the detriment. There is no distinct style and character to the road, with different styled and sized properties throughout. The proposals will not cause a detrimental impact on neighbouring properties, and there is ample parking provision across the road. Lot conservation area and no tree works are proposed, just the removal of a hedge to the rear, and I've said consider no objection.
Everyone fine with that?
Yeah, it seems fine.
I've said one question.
Yes.
Is the building in the front, is that a garage?
It is.
And that's staying.
That's staying,
Yeah.
that's not being touched.
Lovely. So 5/2025/1583, 5/2025/1580 do not meet the criteria. So we move to 27 Barnstein, which is 5/2025/1474.
Okay, the property appears to be as built, with neighbouring properties undergone expansion in terms of bulk and footprint, though they do not appear to have a higher ridgeline. But they do not appear to have higher ridgelines than the application property. This is looking to dramatically change the character and appearance of the property to more modern style, with a large central 2-storey gable projection with large window. This appears to only create an open plan entrance hall and landing arrangement at first floor and not add any additional living accommodation. A large 2-storey extension is proposed beside number 29 to what appears to be up to the boundary. The garage is lost within this extension too. To the left, a single-storey side extension is proposed, which includes a store and office, and then stretches around to the rear to join onto the proposed 2-storey rear extension. Accommodation in the roof space is also proposed to provide 1 bedroom and a bathroom. This will total 5 bedrooms across the property. The footprint across the property is increasing substantially from the existing, with an increase in ridge height from 7 to 8 metres. Therefore, the property presents a more dominant appearance in the street scene from currently. There are other properties in the road that have expanded, but not to the scale and design as is proposed here. There is an objection online which details concerns over impact on the character and appearance of the street scene, excessive front gables not in harmony with other properties, the middle gable visually intrusive and more dominant, and the 3 front gables not fitting with existing street scene as no other property has 3. There are no details on the parking provision provided on site. The garage is lost and currently there are only 2 off-street parking spaces provided on the driveway. There are no details of tree works to be undertaken. There is a large mature tree in the front garden which is presumed to be retained. Before I move on to the consideration, there is actually a further objection online from number 29 Barnstein, which is directly next door. The objections that I included within my officer observations was from number 24 Barnstein, who is opposite, whereas this objection is actually for a direct neighbour. So just quickly, the plans do not clearly show which parts of the house are new and which are old, but we believe that the house will be around double the length and width of the existing house. Plans do not provide detail about future parking provisions. We believe that the examples provided of other planning applications on the street do not support this application as they are not comparable. Objection 1 is that the rear double height extension and proposed balcony will impact light onto our property and encroach on our property and privacy. Objection 2 relates to the overall scale of the property and increased ridge height. Then objection 3 is the windows to the side of the building. The windows at the side of the house should be obscure glaze. This is not noted on the plans. So, okay, so my sort of recommendation or consideration was expressed concern that the proposed extensions present an overly dominant and out-of-keeping appearance to the property, leading to a detrimental impact on the street scene. Policies ESD2 of the neighbourhood plan and policies 69 and 72 of the district plan refers.
Has anyone got any questions further on that?
One of the comments I says it seems to be quite a bit bigger than the,
Yes.
but it's very difficult to see because sometimes it is, as we know, to our detriment. We've had these when the houses have been higher or lower, these proposed street scenes, haven't we?
They're not accurate in terms of
Yeah.
scale. Yeah.
So it is the existing proposal is not scale.
On the street scene, sometimes
We've,
you don't know whether, like, if it's a hill, it's not necessarily.
That's what it's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we've had times when it's like, oh no, that looks okay, and then it's like
Then you find,
quite a bit
Yeah.
bigger.
yeah.
Yeah. Or the other way around.
I did look as best I can. I mean, obviously Google Street View isn't 100% up to date, but I did have a little look and it doesn't appear that street has anything of this sort of kind of dominant
Yeah.
design.
Yeah.
It clearly is, I was able to scale, but it has increased by 1 metre from the scale drawings online. So it is going to be 8 metres in height, which is higher than.
So I mean, those are the ones that are generally on Barnstein.
Yeah.
And that is quite a bit more, isn't it?
And they've had quite a lot of work done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's considerably bigger.
Roads.
Yeah.
Most houses have been extended quite dramatically.
But this is-
Not as much as this one.
So when you look at the street scene that's proposed, I know the roof ridges are really high, but it looks slimmer than number 25, one to the left,
Yeah.
and it looks as high as number 23, which is the first one on the left. Do
I
you
think it's a bit
that's
bigger.
accurate. Or-
maybe.
It might be marginal, but it doesn't look like.
I mean, in theory, it should be accurate because these drawings
Should
should
be
be
at scale,
designed for
yeah.
scale. You
Yeah.
know, they should be.
But when you look at that, it doesn't actually look overly dominant when you look at that sketch.
I think let's just have a little look. I don't know whether or not if we look at,
Might
if you
just
look
appear
at the
that way.
floor plans, that kind of gives you quite a good idea as well as to how much the footprint is increasing from the existing to the proposed.
I get that, but if you look at like the comments around the neighbours that are being developed, it doesn't look that much bigger than the two on the left.
No. I think it's probably is that generally the concern, and I believe it's the kind of the design of the gables, which seems to be.
It's quite that, it's a dominance I get, the
Yeah.
size is
Yeah.
slightly different. Remind me what the objections were, windows?
Yeah, so the
Not
first
in a-
one, I think I included in, yeah, so the first one were impact on the character and appearance of the street scene, excessive front gables not in harmony with the other properties, the middle gable visually intrusive and more dominant, and the 3 front gables not fitting the existing street scene, as no other properties has it. And then the direct neighbour was concerned about the rear double height extension and proposed balcony will impact lights, so it would impact light into our property and encroach on our property's privacy. And then objection 2 is overall scale of the property and increased ridge height. So they're the ones which are to the right of it
Yeah.
As you look at it.
as you're looking at it, yeah.
What do people think then? Nick, you get a vote this time, you're here. We'll let you go first.
Probably take it in. So there's other houses with gables in the road. Admittedly, none of them that I can see and quickly have 3. So it's not the end of the world there. Yes, I agree with the dominance, but that's the way houses are going, aren't they? It's bigger and take up as much space as you can. The privacy in the side windows definitely, they should definitely confirm that, because I think everyone's entitled to the privacy down the side. But I don't think they're quite. It's the road itself. They're quite big houses anyway.
Quite
Well,
different as well.
Yeah, it's a developing area. They're all. Everything's completely different. I can't say the 2 houses are exactly the same.
So do you agree with, Heather's
Yeah,
expressed concern?
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah. Does the 6972, does that cover the, over?
Yes,
It does.
yes. So 69 is basically design and 72 is quite a broad overarching extensions on existing properties, which covers everything from car parking through to loss of amenity to 45-degree angles, etc. So, yeah.
Everyone happy then?
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Heather. And then we have 5/20/25, 1523, 1598, 1595 and 1587 that don't meet the criteria. So we'll move to 5/20/25, 1590, which is 28 Timothy Close.
Okay, planning permission was previously granted in 2023 for a larger proposal at the first floor level than what is proposed in this new application. The ground floor element is not changing from the approved application. At first floor level, the previously approved extension to the side and rear has been removed with just a small extension to the side over the existing utility room at ground floor to create a bathroom. Due to the proposals being a smaller scheme than what has already been approved, there will be less impact on the neighbouring property at number 26 Clinton Close. And I'm so consider no objection.
Yeah.
It's fine.
5/20/25, 1660 is 6A Hatching Green.
Okay.
Close.
Yep, so the proposal is ultimately to replace the existing bungalow dwelling with another bungalow built to modern day standards and incorporates energy efficiency measures such as solar panels. The scale and footprint are largely staying the same, apart from a small rear extension over the footprint of the existing conservatory to create open plan living accommodation. Due to its orientation, this addition will not cause any impact on the neighbouring property. The ridge height appears to be staying the same too. Property is in the conservation area but not locally listed. The existing garage and parking provision remains unchanged. No tree works and existing landscaping is to be retained. I say consider no objection.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have a question though. Do you remember we've had houses that wanted to get knocked down in the past and they were declined because they said that the walls were fine and they had to use some of the structure that was there because it wasn't
Yeah,
energy.
I think we've only seen that actually on one particular, on that one. Yeah, because if they adopted that principle for everything, then nothing new would be built, to be honest.
I
Yeah,
just remember that came back.
I
a couple
do,
of times,
yeah.
didn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And I think probably in the basis of this particular one is it's not growing. It's pretty much staying exactly the same.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure whether or not the other one might be refused due to its increase in bulk and height and things possibly.
Yeah. Okay. 5/20/25, we've done that. 5/20/25, 1522 is 49 Top Street Way.
Okay, this is the third application this committee has considered for this site, all of which follow a similar design, bulk and positioning on the plot. The last application was refused for the reasons set out in the history above. This new proposal attempts to address those reasons for refusal by bringing the properties 1 metre forward on the footprint, but reducing the porch projection to ensure that 5.7 metres is retained on the frontage vehicles to be parked. It's believed by bringing the properties forward on the footprint, the concerns expressed by the LPA on the loss of amenity and impact on number 6 Fairmead Avenue will be addressed. Dropped curb widths have been reduced to 3.6 metres to comply with Hertfordshire Highway standards, along with details on the visibility displays and swept path analysis provided. That emergent survey has been included in the application, which shows on 2 separate analysis occasions no gaps emerged. There are actually a number of objections online for this one, interestingly. I'll come and read them out to you. To be
Did you
honest,
say it was okay last time? I can't remember what I thought.
so yeah, so we said for the last application, whilst the committee have no objection in principle to development on this plot, they do request that the applicant satisfies Hertfordshire Highways requirements for adequately sized off-street parking provision and safe access arrangements.
Parking, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that they have, you know.
And you can see it's quite different on this
Yes.
one, yeah.
So the objections online, number 58 Top Street Way, basically says the road is now in crisis with over occupancy and parking. Despite multiple applications by residents for residents parking only in Top Street Way, no progress has been made. The road is gridlocked opposite 49 Top Street Way every morning and evening. The addition of 4 more vehicles accessing the property will only worsen matters further. So that's from one of them. Another one,
That's a question on that one. Why is
Yes.
there 4 more vehicles?
because of there is before parking.
You're allowed to have,
Yeah,
yeah.
but how many is there coming on already? If they said 4 more. but
There
there's a
won't be
house there
4 more.
already.
Well, it'd be 3 more, won't it? Or
Or
2
2 more,
I
yeah.
think the reason why they're saying 4 more is because of the site currently is unoccupied.
Yeah, but it's
Well,
always going to
that's-
stay that way, isn't
I think
it?
that's possibly why.
Yeah,
because
I
it's
don't
been
think it's
empty
4, I
for
think it's
such a long
it
time.
might be doubling, but it's not,
Well, it's currently got space for 2 or 3 cars on the drive,
yeah,
and now it's going to possibly
how full?
for 2 separate houses. So there's in Google, there's still 2 cars parked on the drive, but that's not going to increase it.
But they're going to lose a parking space in front of the house, aren't they?
On the
on
road,
the
yeah,
road.
yeah, they'll lose a road space, and then.
Okay, another one from 76 Top Street Way. Firstly, the property already is elevated and the plan suggests an even higher ridgeline. The amount of windows in the new buildings will be invasive to me and not at all appropriate. We have huge traffic and parking problems already in our street, and this is just going to exacerbate the problem. Another one again, which basically relates to the impact of the additional cars on the street and overcrowding, and the lack of parking control already in place. And then this other one actually that has come is a bit more sort of kind of what I would class as a true objection. Clarification is needed. The letter I received from the council says an application has been made for the construction of 2 3-bedroom detached dwellings. I was kind of unsure, and I thought it was a mistake in the logging of it, because it does state that it is for detached dwellings, but the drawings are very clearly semi-detached
Yeah.
dwellings. It says here, the plans submitted show 1 dwelling with 2 semi-detached dwellings, which is exactly what exactly is being proposed. So there needs to be some clarification on that. I cannot pretend to understand the plans, but it seems the application is to increase number 49 from 2 levels to 3, concerned that this will affect my right to light and privacy in my back garden. So this is a gentleman that lives next door. Also appears to me that the front of the proposed building is further forward than the current building is, which is correct. They have moved it further forward to try and address the concerns of overlooking Fairmead. I'm concerned that this may affect my right to light and privacy in my back garden. Sorry, so I've gone back a bit there. It also appears to me that the front of the proposed dwelling is further forward than the current building line is. And if that is the case, question whether it is in front of my building line and will affect my right to light and privacy. The extra driveway as proposed may affect my visibility when using my driveway. Proposal is of course to increase the property at number 49 from 1 house to 2 houses with resulting increase in vehicles. So he's kind of in a sense concerned again about the effect on the street, and
It is a busy road, isn't it?
so. But quite an interesting one, which I picked up, which is the letter from Highways. Their conclusion is Herts County Councillors Highway Authority has considered the proposal and concludes that it would not give rise to an unacceptable impact on the safety or operation of the surrounding highway. It raises no objections, but recommends the inclusion of the above conditions and highway information advisory notes. So highways now no longer have a problem.
And that's
Yeah.
because the 2 drop curves and you can get 2 spaces
Yeah.
per house.
And they've also been able to show the visibility displays and swept path analysis, which is basically the in and out.
Yeah.
So,
And that was the main reason
Yeah, we
for
can't
refusal.
refuse off highways or anything.
no, and you know, going back to what we said last time, it hinged on the highway matter. We
Yes,
didn't have
absolutely,
any
yeah.
concerns over the
Yeah.
the dwellings themselves.
I mean, there is a question then around it being semi-detached and detached. Do we need to bring that out or should we just leave them?
I think we can only really base it on the drawings that are presented in front of us, and they are very, very clearly semi-detached dwellings. And I looked at it again thinking, oh gosh, have I made a mistake
Yeah.
myself? But there is no split at all. You know, when you
No.
look at it, they are very clearly attached. So
Yeah.
I don't think that's
That's
something that's
self-fixed,
yeah, clarifying.
Okay. Is everyone happy with the no objection subject to previous reasons being addressed?
Yeah, that's fine.
Nick?
Really struggling to see the difference between the old and the new.
The porch is
It's
a
mainly.
lot
the
slimmer.
porch, isn't
Yeah.
It's mainly the port, and
Uh-huh.
basically it's been brought further forward by a very small
They've
distance.
dealt with the curves.
So I think probably if you look at that one on your paper, you can probably just
Yeah.
marginally see
It's
that
much
the
easier.
one to the right-hand side is slightly further forward than the left, and they've reduced the porch. Because the porch, I think, on the left-hand houses,
Is it-
is further forward, and this one has been brought in line with the bay window.
If they're getting rid of the porch, which probably means a bit thick, getting rid of the porch and bringing the whole house forward, how is the square meterage in the garden the same?
At the back.
They probably should have, well, actually, no, because that includes whatever is at the front as well. I think it's oh no, it does say rear garden, doesn't it? I think that, yeah, they probably should have
Just
updated
haven't
that.
changed it.
Yeah, they just haven't changed it.
I mean, to be fair, it doesn't look any different.
Because the only thing I see different is they've changed the car parking space from 4,900 to 5 meters. And changed the shape of it, but there's no difference in any other measurements.
Yeah, so I think I think the house you can, well, I can see it probably on my screen quite well here, is that the right-hand house is about approximately, well, however, be slightly less than a metre further forward, and then the porch.
Yeah, there are.
They've shrunk the porch, haven't they?
Yeah.
There's no measurements
on
on that
that.
side, yeah.
They've taken it down to,
I think, yeah, so the measurements on this is still 570
Yeah,
here, but I think what they've done is to enable it to become a better visibility display. I think they've kind of giving a bit more scope. Yeah, I mean,
because they've shrunk the porch, they've created more space for the
Yeah.
the inside cars.
the porch here
Yeah.
jutted out further than the bay window, whereas this is now, it's come in line with the bay window.
but then all the spaces are now staggered.
Yeah, so I think that the spaces here were 4,900 and they're now 500 over here.
It's only cozy.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I think when they've changed, they've reduced the crossovers because they were too wide. Reduced what county were objecting to, I think last time, was that they were too wide.
Are you happy, Nick? Lovely, that's good to hear. I 2025-1642 does not meet the criteria. So we are now on 5-2025-1602, which is 7 Anglehurst.
Okay, the property is the last in a row of terraced houses with a public footpath and open space to the side. Place is looking to add a 2-storey front extension in line with the existing ground floor garage straight store, forward projection, and to extend the width of the existing dining room to enable the ground floor to be made open plan. 2 other properties in the relatively small cul-de-sac have extended in a similar way. The first floor extension is to extend an existing bedroom. No extra bedrooms are being added. Due to the positioning of the property in the street and the two-storey extension being to the side of the footpath, along with the neighbouring property also having a rear extension similar to what is proposed, there'll be no loss of amenity from the proposals. Actually, interestingly, there is an objection online for number 6 Wendover Close, who is, if you look at the sort of kind of, street scene, your block view, is they're the last house that overlooks sort of kind of like the back of, I suppose, the side, the back garden. So they say, we live at 6 Wendover Close, our living room and rear garden overlooking the south side of 7 Englehurst. Our fence is about 7 metres from their wall. We are concerned about privacy in respect of the south-facing windows and the proposed rear extension, which it appears would have a direct view into our living room and garden. We're also concerned about the potential loss of light and unsightliness of the bulk of the loft extension. Well, there isn't a loft extension. It's just an extension at the front, and the extension to the rear is only single story.
But they are going into the loft.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is there windows going?
Let me just double check.
I think
Load.
that.
So they've got,
At the front?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, no,
And at the rear.
yeah.
but I think
Can't lift their door.
they are, yeah, so it's, yeah, they are, so it's like a dormer window.
At the back,
Okay.
yeah, so there is an extension. Kind of,
Yes.
yeah. So which, if the house is this way round, if you look at the floor plan,
Yeah,
which side is the,
to the right.
so it's this bit that they are not lining in then. That's the extension now.
So that's extension downstairs, yeah.
That. And then that bit at the front. And then there's nothing upstairs, so
Yeah, so they, I think, because they're adding a dormer window at the back, aren't they?
yeah.
Which actually
What was the
is the
complaint again, or the?
So they were
object-
concerned, we are concerned about privacy in respect to the south-facing windows and the proposed rear extension, which it appears would have direct view into our living room and garden. We're also concerned about the potential loss of light and unsightliness of the bulk of the loft extension.
So when they talk about the first extension, they must be talking about the ground floor one. I don't know how that,
No, they are referring to the loft extension at the rear.
at the end they are, but they, because it then says, and also, doesn't it?
We're also concerned about the potential loss of light and unsightliness of the bulk of the loft extension.
Yeah. I thought the other one, the first comment.
We are, so what does it say?
It's a bit ambiguous.
We live at 6 Wendover Close. Our living room and rear garden overlooking the south side of 7 Englehurst. Our fence is about 7 metres from their wall. We are concerned about privacy in respect to the south-facing windows and the proposed rear extension, which it appears would have a direct view into our living room and garden. I mean, yeah, the extension is at ground floor. So the side windows are on just to create light in. They won't be visible unless you're
No,
7th
so I wondered if he is talking about the,
There is a bit of a slope.
Is there's a difference in height? Yeah, you can see actually there.
Yeah.
so which one is number 6 then?
So it would be the sort of the first shed you can see on the right, that would be their garden.
So I think it's these windows on the side. As,
They-
as you look out the right-hand side of that,
Yeah,
you're looking down into their garden.
So the windows, I think that are on the
So,
side are already there.
okay,
So the only new windows that are on that side are roof
Down-
skylights, really.
all downstairs.
Yeah, because the ones that are down the bottom are already existing.
There's an extra one, but it's not like there isn't one already. Okay,
I think that's the only one that
Yeah.
causes an issue there.
so how does everyone feel about that? Gemma?
Well, you know, a similar extension has been carried out at number 12, hasn't it? We can see that. And so I think it will get approved.
Mm.
I think that little window that's on the, sorry, it
It's
wasn't,
for a bathroom.
it's for a shower room, yeah,
it is, yeah.
so it should be.
Obscured, yeah.
Yeah,
Obscure glazed is the word. Yeah.
yeah, so,
Do we need to just put a note in, say,
You can be more than happy to
No,
say,
uh,
subject to no loss of amenity
yeah.
to
Yeah.
number 6.
Yeah.
Or number 7 or 6 where Wendover Close. Happy to have that.
Yeah, everyone
Because this objection I only picked up today.
I mean, they'll see the objection as well, won't they? So
They will.
everyone happy with that?
Yes, because that estate's had so many extensions on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right, 5/20/25, 1560 and 1558 and 1648 and 1498 and 1608 do not meet the criteria. So we will move on to the last one, which is 5/20/25, 1650, 23 Kirkdale Road.
Okay, property sits at the end of Kirkdale Road on a corner plot that opens out to the side straight rear and does not sit as part of the main street scene of the road. Public footpath runs along the rear boundary with number 6 Salisbury Road also to the rear. Current property at ground floor level is made up of lots of individual rooms, and this proposal looks to extend various elements to create a more uniform footprint into the available space surrounding and to the side. The footprint of the existing rear outbuilding and shed is to be taken into the main dwelling to expand the open plan ground floor living accommodation. So the first floor is proposed to expand over the footprint of the proposed ground floor extensions, which project towards the garden space. A basement and loft accommodation is also proposed to introduce a study stroke store and a cinema stroke playroom. The ridge height is increasing by 300 millimetres. The garage is lost, but 3 car parking spaces are available on the frontage. A pre-application was submitted to SADC, which provided feedback on amendments that should be made to make the proposal more acceptable. Those changes have been factored into this proposal. Due to the orientation of the plot and the positioning of nearby properties, there appears to be little, if any, detrimental impact on neighbouring properties or on the street scene. New trees are to be planted to the rear with no indication of any to be removed. Property is locally listed in the conservation area, but the proposed design and materials appear to be in keeping. I've said consider no objections, subject to the proposals deemed acceptable on this locally listed dwelling in the conservation area. Policies ESD 2 of the neighbourhood plan and 69, 72, 85 and 87 of the district plan refers. You, everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, that's it for planning implications. Anything to note on appeals?
No, we have no appeals this time.
Tree works, anything to note?
No, only very short list this time.
Lovely.
Okay, and then
Dates for the next meeting?
so the date of the next meeting is the 21st of October, which is actually in 2 weeks' time, just to warn you.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah. Okay, that's absolutely fine. I will present your apologies.
I know.
The reason for the being in 2 weeks' time is that we have to have a bit of a deviation midway through so that we don't fall in the Christmas week.
yeah.
So we have to have a 2 week gap now and then another 2 week gap a little closer towards Christmas so that we don't
20,
end up with it. So the 21st is the next meeting, yeah, so 2 weeks' time.
I'm away. I'll be-
And I'm in St Albans, so we might.
Okay,
I'm in Portugal,
lovely.
which will probably be a bit more interesting.
It's a half term.
It's half term for us, yeah.
I think the normal half term is that the
Week after.
week after.
Okay. You got 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. And I'll
Yes, so I need to say, right, meeting closed at 8:04. Wait a second, let me just. Holding.